That's what we need is one more. We've got 13 rods out, Coach. What we need is one more.
I'm nervous.
We need one more out. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to your Lake Fork Guide. We're here on the home lake, the Goat Lake, Lake Fork. It is the day after a full moon. It is March. It's early March. It's also just a couple days right before the MLF starts. I think 2 days after this, 2 or 3 days after this, the MLF tournament starts. And the fishing should get better and better this week. But if I'm being honest with you, the fishing out here has been really, really tough. We've had a lot of rain. As you can see, the watercolor is not, it ain't crystal clear by any means, folks. We got a little bit of changing water elevation, changing watercolor. Some challenges have been thrown forth to us. I've got my boy, Sir William James, who is trying to figure out a piece of technical equipment. That is not his strong suit, I can assure you. Coach BJ Anderson, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, man. I'm ready to go.
He is fired up. I can tell you, this sucker, he said he's been up since 4:30. I told him to meet me at 6:30.
Well, look at this.
It's Lake Fork.
I didn't want to be late.
It's Lake Fork. Listen, like I said, guys, it's been really tough. Like, there hasn't been a lot of bites to go around. But when you're talking about a full moon in early March, right? And you're talking about Lake Fork, like, got a little tree over here. My boy's pitching a new 6-inch finesse jig at. Like, there could be a 10-pounder on every tree you look at. That's how it feels when you get to this time of year on Lake Fork. It just feels like every laydown, every stump, every piece of cover on the bank, you just feel like there's going to be a 10-pounder pop up anywhere, with good reason, because it happens a lot here. It happens a lot here. So that's enough talking. I got to shut up. I'm a little bit wound up, a little bit nervous today. Even though I've been struggling my butt off, if I'm being honest with you, I'm really, really excited about today. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling like it might be a good day. So let's see what happens. Go ahead.
No, go.
Okay, great. But I got a little over anxious on him. God, dog it. Oh my God.
Slamming it.
Bro, I'm talking about like, pull my rod down.
Let's check the wacky.
Me? Huh?
I said, what am I doing with the finger? Damn fishing. My bad, dog.
Well, man, that's a good idea. I mean, that was definitely two different fish. There was one right here at the boat, like back here, then the one was up there. Oh, that bad line. That was a real one too, dude. Oh, that bad line from pulling out all them backlashes. Got all the kinks in it. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be fishing guides. Slinging them at me.
Just came back and bit my bug.
That might be a spawning pair up there where it's sitting, you know, on the end of that boat ramp right there. That'd be a good place for. Hold on. We're working hard for this, folks. You don't know how hard we worked for this. You just saw me break off. Coach almost went to a full count on him right there before he connected. A pretty little Lake Fork bass. Looks a lot like a bass, just a little bit smaller. Although if you were tournament fishing out here in a slot tournament, you'd be like,
good one. Got a little belly on it.
Solid keeper, baby.
I think he bit me like a, he bit me like a, you know, the drum roll deal. I swung and missed. I picked up, it was heavy, so that's the reason I come on my feet.
Can you do that sound effect again?
I did this. I picked up his heavy.
The little swim bait?
Little swim bait.
Oh boy.
The flashy swimmer, I think you call it.
That's what they call it. Atta boy, Coach. Numero dos. You have to show that one off real good. Hold him right. Extend him out. Full. Wait a minute. GoPro zoom. Engage. There we go. Good job, Coach. Well, folks at home, as you can tell, it doesn't even look like the same day anymore, but it is the same day now. It has been an absolute tough grind on us. It's been cold this morning. The water temps have been below 60, so that's a little colder than you want them when you're trying to maybe think about fish wanting to spawn. Now we've got some sunshine. It's calmed down. Very, very little wind. The water temps are warming. We've got above 60 degrees. We're sitting right at 60.5 in this pocket we're sitting right now. And I actually have a fish that I'm seeing on a bed. He seems a little skittish. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch him. But we're transitioning. We're no longer fishing moving baits and just blind flipping in dirty water. We've actually gone and sought out some cleaner water, and was able to locate our first Lake Fork visible locked on bedfish of the year. I'm gonna see if I can catch him. I don't know. He's a little sketchy, but we're gonna try it for you.
Did he move?
Oh, he moved. I'm gonna see how long it takes him to come back. That sucker hauled. I'll tell you how hard he was kicking and coming out of there. Look at that cloud of dirt right there. Suffice it to say, he was not ready. Not even close. I pitched it in there one time. It landed very soft, very subtle. Landed close to him, but it landed very soft. And he kicked out of there so hard, he was throwing up mud streams halfway down the cove. So we're going to go find another cove, maybe has a little bit warmer water, get a little bit further north in the lake, earlier type spawning areas, see if we can find some more bedfish. If y'all know me, you've seen me watch, if you watched this channel last spring, you know I'm kind of obsessed with this bed fishing thing. So now that I know there are some that I can see, I'm really not going to do anything else until I can find some more on bed. So that's what we're about to do. Well, guys, today is the time for me to put my money where my mouth is. I always say that I'll show you what happens whether we catch them or we don't, and today obviously was a case where we did not catch them very well at all. I mean, just a terrible day, especially when you consider the time of year it is. We're March, we're the day after full moon. We've got a beautiful, warm, calm day. Fish should be pushing shallow and biting. And I just didn't execute. We didn't execute today. We didn't get it done for whatever reason. I think we're a little early on the bedfish. I think the bedfish are coming to us. That's rude, isn't it?
That is rude.
That's just rude.
He ought to shut down.
I mean, we're filming a TV show out here. I mean, I guess it was kind of inconsiderate of me to park 100 yards from the boat lane, but you know. But we did not execute today for whatever reason, guys. It just didn't go our way. I had to break off on what I feel like was a good fish. It bit like a bigger fish normally bites on that wacky worm. It wasn't a tap. It was just a slow pull, which usually indicates a bigger fish on that deal. I had a missed opportunity at the end of the day on a weightless clout stick bait. Thank God for Coach BJ Anderson being here with me today, because at least, yeah, that's him in the background acting a fool. At least somebody actually executed well enough to put some kind of fish in the boat, although that wasn't much of a fish on either occasion. It is what it is, guys. We don't, hey, sometimes we all struggle from time to time. Today, and honestly, here lately, I've been on the struggle bus. That's what's been going on for me out here on Lake Fork. I think it's about to get better. I think the MLF guys are going to catch them real good. Maybe we'll see how that unfolds as the week unfolds. By the time you guys are watching this video, that's already happened. But to make this a better video for you guys, something I've been wanting to get to anyway, I just got this brand new FXR, Skeeter FXR, unbelievable bass boat, the most mind-blowing bass boat I've ever been in my life. I also have the Lowrance Ghost trolling motor. It's a brand new trolling motor. Don't know how many honest reviews have been put out about this Lowrance trolling motor. I know there's been some promotional stuff put out by some of the big time Lowrance guys that are paid to say what they're saying. I don't know that there's been a whole lot of just straight up unbiased. I've seen one other one where they were comparing a Garmin and a Lowrance and an Ultrex. That was ridiculous. That guy was obviously with Garmin. That guy wants a Garmin. He's got a Garmin graph. He wants a Garmin trolling motor, and it was a hack piece from the beginning. I didn't find anything that he said to be true with my Lowrance. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about some of the features on the Lowrance and my thoughts as a guy I've been fishing it for a couple weeks now, every single day. I've put it in some dirt shallow water. I've beat it up. I've banged it up. I've used the spotlight feature offshore in high winds. I've really used everything that trolling motor at the core level will do already. The first thing that I noticed about the Lowrance trolling motor is how sturdily it is built. It is a heavy duty. It looks good. It's a sharp looking trolling motor, but it is built well. If you fish enough like I do and you've used a bunch of different trolling motors, you can kind of tell when one's maybe not quite as tough as others. This Lowrance Ghost trolling motor, it's built to last. It's built to put up with the punishment and the abuse that we're going to give it using it out here on these heavily timbered, heavily covered lakes like we have out here in East Texas. I have no doubts, no lack of faith that that trolling motor will stand up and stand the test of time as far as durability goes. It's very, very well made. One of the other things that I noticed is the spot locking capabilities. It is more accurate than an Ultrex. You know, an Ultrex would tend to wander a little bit on spot lock. When I put this thing on spot lock, the nose of that boat stays exactly where I spot locked it. There is so little variance. I mean, I sat in a high wind. The first time I spot locked it, I sat out off the bank in a high wind ripping around this point, me sitting off the side of it, probably for 30 or 45 minutes nonstop. And the boat never wiggled. It never lost its GPS fix. It never moved a little bit off the coordinates and corrected itself. It stayed true the whole time. Thoroughly, thoroughly impressed with how accurate the spot locking capabilities are on the Lowrance Ghost. The next thing that I've noticed about it, it's just unbelievable, is the power. Like, I don't even know. It doesn't say whether it's a 112 or a 102 or whatever. I don't know what it is, pound thrust. I haven't seen anywhere on there where it says. Whatever it is, it's more powerful than any trolling motor I've ever had my hands on. And the next thing I want to talk about is just how nice of a trolling motor this trolling motor is. Lowrance has a reputation for building things, A, user-friendly, and B, really, really nice. The aesthetics of them, the look of them, the functionality of them is always really easy to use, really smooth, good, well-functioning equipment. Lowrance is kind of known for that. They did the same thing with this trolling motor. It's unbelievable. When you put the trolling motor in, it actually has a lock-in assist. I don't even know what they call it. I'm obviously not a Lowrance Pro staffer here. I don't know what they call it, but when you let that trolling motor down, even if you tried to slam it down as hard as you could into the rack, it won't. It catches itself. It has a hydraulic jack. It catches itself. It has a hydraulic jack that eases it down into place, and it locks in place every time. If you've used the Ultrex, there's times when you ease that Ultrex down into the rack, it doesn't lock in place. Then you hit the button, your trolling motor flies up in the air. If you've used an Ultrex enough, you've seen that happen. This one locks itself into place, nice and easy. You're not going to break the trolling motor slamming it down too hard. Not going to cause any problems doing that. So a very nice feature they added there. Also, I had no clue it did this, but a really, really neat feature that I found was no matter what direction your trolling motor head is facing, when you pull it up, put it in the rack, it has an electronic self-correcting head. So if my trolling motor, if my nose of my boat is like this and my trolling motor head is facing this way, when I pull it up into the rack, it's not going to lay evenly. But with this Lowrance trolling motor, as you pull it up into the rack, the head self-corrects itself so that it lays perfectly in your rack every time you pull it up. Other than that, just very, very stable, very sturdy. You don't have to strap it when you're running down the lake, no matter how rough the water is. It locks into place in the rack and it never wiggles. It locks into place when it's down. It never wiggles. Just a really well-made, well-functioning machine. The one negative, and I don't really think it's a negative, is the noise factor isn't as quiet as I was hoping for after listening to all the hype about this trolling motor. That being said, it's a million times quieter than my Ultrex was. The steering noise on an Ultrex was unbearable. If you're in shallow water and you had to steer your Ultrex, you were fixing to run off every fish in the county. The steering noise is significantly less. Also, just the noise of the head. When you had your Ultrex on spot lock and you had some wind going, you could hear that head, whoa, whoa, whoa. You could hear it running, hear the motor running. When you put this, it's on spot lock right now. I'll walk the microphone up there for you. A little bit of steering noise, but you hear zero from the head of the trolling motor. Until you turn it all the way up, you really never hear the prop noise, the big noise that all the Fortrex and Ultrex and all the traditional trolling motors have always made. Something they did in that brushless technology did a great job with that. Now, that being said, the steering does make noise still, which I thought was going to be totally eliminated based on the hype I was hearing, but it is significantly less than the Ultrex or any other electronically steered trolling motor that I've had my hands on. So there you go, guys. There's a day on the water on Lake Fork, a very tough, challenging, difficult day. It may not have been that tough. There's probably some guys that caught them really well today. I probably made the wrong decisions and zigged when I should have zagged and did not execute on the bites that I did get, even though it was tough, so I made it even that much tougher on myself. I stand by my word. I'm a man of my word. I show you whether we catch them or we don't. We get one day of water on the week. If we don't catch them, that's what you're going to see. Today, that's what you saw. I appreciate you guys that have watched the video this far. Thank you very much for sticking through it. I say this all the time. I know I don't have the biggest audience. I firmly believe that I do have the best, and you guys are the reason why, because I know there's a lot of y'all that are going to watch this video all the way till the end, and I can't express how much that means to me. Thank you guys so very, very much for all the support that you give us. Speaking of that, go check out our sponsor, 6centsfishing.com. When you get over there, if you're going to purchase anything, be sure you punch in the code Your Lake Fork Guide, get a 10% discount on all orders. Other than that, thank you one more time, and we'll see you next time right here on Your Lake Fork Guide.